Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Lab.com. It's Friday, and yes, I'm in the city. Had a a function last night, so I had to come back in today, and it's nice to be in the city, on a Friday. I get to do my recap when it's the last day of the month and the last day of the second quarter. Hopefully everyone at Redler All Access had a great, so far, first half of the year. Definitely not the easiest, but also lots to do. We have a lot of different types of trades and tactics and strategies, and if you implement a lot of the tools and tactics you've learned throughout the month, the years that you've spent, as part of our community, and this is our community, it's not my community, it's our community, because we have lots of people who contribute, lots of great, human capital in this product / community that everyone interacts with. So anyway, this is a time when, what you should do, obviously, besides eating hot dogs, hamburgers, skirt steak, ribeyes, and having some cervezas, you got to look back and say, how did you do for the first half of the year? Did you follow your rules? Did you switch gears fast enough? Did you listen to your inner voice that told you what to do? Did you let some winners run? Did you look for quality patterns? Did you play laggards? Did you look at leaders? Did you revenge trade? Did you do all the things that traders ask themselves every day, every week, every month, which you probably should do at the end of a quarter, and almost make a list of things that you think you did well, things you've learned, things that you've expanded upon, and then some things you think you need to work on, some things that you definitely could have room for improvement, and we could all have room for improvement. In my note this morning, I wrote that I'm still working on my process and trying to do things better and different and more strategic and looser at times, and all the things we all do. And I've been doing this since 1998, not 1988. I think that was a typo. I'm not that old. Pretty old, but not that old. So anyway, what now? I think we're going into the weekend and we're kind of neutral, right? We just had an oversold bounce, the red dog reversal from yesterday's low that took us into resistance again before selling off. There was a lot of sell imbalances because of reshuffling and readjusting for the end of the quarter. So we'll see how next week, shifts out. I would take the next week slow. We're a few weeks from earnings season, and then sometimes things change in a new quarter because, different sectors get better, different sectors sell. Some people take profits. Some people can then, get in laggard groups. It's like a lot of things sift out. So, on a week that's going to be July 4th week with a lot of people taking holiday, either the first part of the week or the second part or all week, I would not be putting yourself in a position to start the quarter off in a bang, or, I would just take it step by step. Anyway, you look at the chart here of the S&P cash. All in all, you got to know your levels here, right? This was, the red dog reversal yesterday, some follow through, but where did we stall? Into resistance. We did not have to stall there, but it's good to know where it is. So if you bought yesterday, hopefully, you took some profits. I tweeted this morning that I sold some pre-market, and then I think around 10:30, I'm like, if you bought here, it's a good time to sell. I think the Dow was up 250 points there, and I don't think I did any buying in the first part of the day. I did nibble a little bit at the close, thinking that maybe that sell order, is the reason why we closed somewhat weak. But anyway, not a whole heck of a lot, because we could work our way back to this end of the range. Who knows? All in all, still below the 21 and the 8-day, above the 50-day. So just home on the range for now, as other sectors trying to figure out what's next. The Qs hit resistance, and early on, I said, hey, some key names went red first. Not that it means a whole heck of a lot, but Netflix went red, and Facebook was struggling, and Twitter went red, and just looked as if the tech was tired and no one was in a rush there. So anyway, here's your Qs. Red dog reversal buy. Here's some resistance. It almost looked too easy to short there. Obviously, I didn't short it there, but at least if you were long from yesterday, you sell some. And now we figure out, is there, what's next? Small caps also. They gave you a little red dog reversal yesterday, and then, oh, what a quinky dink. A little resistance into the moving averages, considering came all the way from down here. So now we'll see what's next there. It's been a while since it broke this ascending channel, and it's not special now. It's just a trade. XLF still looks like a headwind. We had Bank of America calls. Thank goodness we sold them. I tried buying a dip once or twice in the name, and it just was heavy. So all in all, what did it do? Just actually a bounce back to the 200-day and got rejected. This will turn into a headwind if it starts breaking this level next week. We shall see. Keep that in tune. Every set of lower highs have been sold, and I guess here was another one. So we'll see. But a trade's a trade. If you bought it yesterday, you know, and sold it into strength today, you did quite well. If you chased it today because everyone was talking about how the banks look good again and money's rotating there, you got caught. You know, I think that, you know, we've done a good job here reading the tape, not reading the headlines, listening to the movement of the stocks, not listening to the noise that gets reported every day with, you know, whether it's fake news or not. You know, we look at the chart patterns, we look at our tactics, and we try and execute with confidence. You know, I'm not going to go through every name out there, but, you know, you have some, you know, some rejection at resistance, some looking better than others. Like Amazon went all the way past, you know, the weekly high. Oops, what am I doing here? And then slowly just grinded lower. Okay, I guess it could have got a little worried that Netflix wasn't so strong. Who knows? Maybe, you know, they took some profits into the quarter. At this point, we'll see what happens here. All in all, a little choppy, above the moving averages, but it's kind of in no man's land without a real pattern now. Netflix, you know, still in this upper wedge type formation with a bunch of lower highs. Here, you know, here's where it filled the gap. Didn't even get back up to there where I just showed you that Amazon was above that pivot from earlier this week. So this is a little bit weaker. If this were to break this next week, that wouldn't be good. Not saying it's going to, but, you know, some wishy-washy signs on, you know, no reason to be long this thing into, you know, into next week. You know, maybe we'll get long on Monday or Tuesday depending on the action, but for now, this is giving me more of a neutral to negative look from a momentum standpoint than rushing to buy. Facebook, kind of similar too, closed near the lows. Look at that, you know, that could be a problem if it breaks this early next week. We'll stay tuned. Another high, lower high, lower high. It was weak today. Twitter, I had it long overnight. I sold it because it just wasn't acting well. It's still hanging around. It's still fine, but, you know, didn't act special today. So in a market that I don't think is special, I'm not going to stay in names unless they're looking special. You know, DBX also was up 50 cents when red. No reason to sit in this thing. Okay, it's very choppy. I told you, shouldn't have gone all the way down to here. If this candlestick showed up here, it would have been special. It showed up down there, so that bounce was sold. It didn't hold the prior high here either. Tesla, you know, just same kind of scenario. There are some trades here and there. Here's your red dog reversal early in the week, a little bit of upside, and then started green and just went red. You know, after 4 up days, you're being more careful anyway. Now, if someone's short overnight, that's not the worst thing to do, probably. What's it called? Walmart. Someone asked me why I'm in options. Well, I've been in options for a while. I've actually bought the calls, I think somewhere down here. Now I have a spread, so I'm going to give it some time. Oh, I bought some Starbucks calls also, just as, you know, as a maybe bounce play. It's broken, so I'm not in the stock, which would have been decent to be in the stock. We bought it yesterday for September, but I think I bought the 50s, so we'll see. I sold a little bit today. I wasn't thinking it was going to bounce so quickly, but anyway, we'll see what happens into here. Hold on one second. Hello? Yes, who's this? Okay. You know what? Let me just give you a call back. Is it super important? Because I'm in the middle of. Okay, cool. I'm just in the middle doing a recap for my community. Hey, everyone. I thought it was an important phone call. You're on a video. Say hi. All right. Goodbye. Sorry about that. It was Milburn. I thought something happened. You know, when Milburn calls, I live in Short Hills, Milburn. I thought it could be the wife, it could be someone. So figured, why not pick up? It's live video. You guys are all friends and family anyway. That was Chase's private client, so he probably wants to see why I don't have all my money working at one time. He doesn't realize I have a swing account, I have an active account, I have an options account. So over there, you know, I have a lot of cash and just a 529, a 401k, and all that stuff for long term. So that's you know, while we're on that subject. All right, we talk about time frame. You know, if you're, you know, in your 40s and your 30s and even your 50s, you should have a monthly, long-term, you know, vehicle that you can put money in every month. If you have I have a 9-year-old, I have a 529 for a bunch of years, and he's not going to school for 8 years. So even if, for some reason, we have a downturn this summer, or for the next 2 years, it doesn't matter. If you put monthly money into an S&P fund, if you trade actively for cash flow and P&L and for a living like we do, then that's a total different thing. Then you better make sure you know where your moving averages are, you know the chart patterns, you know what's leading what, you know what's the headwinds, you know what the market's obsessing about. And, you know, as far as last week or a week or so ago, we had a big portfolio approach. This week, we were pretty flat all week, getting long, getting short. Went long 5 or 6 things yesterday. Why? Because we were minus 60 on the oscillator and you had a red dog reversal, which wound up paying off today. Now, not in much. You know why? We just rejected a resistance and still a new quarter. You know, who knows? So anyway, there are times to press it and times to pull back, and then there's times to reflect. You know, take a little time to reflect this weekend. You know, obviously have a good time and have some fun and don't be reflecting all weekend. But, you know, use some of the time to your advantage because we are a half a year in and it's time to, you know, do some work on yourself and keep doing work on yourself so you become the best version of you. I thank you for your commitment to RAA. I hope everyone has a great weekend, an unbelievable July 4th week if you're leaving already for a vacation, which a lot of people are. And, you know, just keep swinging the bat and just stay consistent and keep working on your process. Bye-bye.